Hello, everyone, and welcome to the listening room. Today we have with us Kim Fisher. She is an author and coach. Hi, Kim. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm
Thank
doing
you for
well.
inviting me.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're here in this space to be able to share with everybody what you've been up to. I see and hear you have a lot going on, and that's wonderful to hear. I don't know where you want to start, but
I have a blessed life. I've created a really happy life. And I think, especially in this season of my life, I just have this desire to make everybody feel like me, right? I want everyone to have this blessing versus sometimes you go in the later season of your life and you have a lot of, either their health problems, financial problems, relationship problems, because we're changing all the time. And sometimes I see a lot of women and men in the space where I'm at is they're not as hopeful, right? Because it's a lot going on in the world right now and in their lives. And so I think my greatest gift is that I inspire people to be better, right? However I can do that, I think that's one of the best gifts that I have. And I try to use it in a lot of different ways.
I could see that. I felt that from you when I met you recently, and I'm so glad I got to meet you in person in Arizona. That was such a pleasure. I'm glad we were
It
at the
was a
same place.
nice surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're an
Especially when you,
author.
yes, yes. I wrote a book last year and I really honestly didn't plan to become an author. I had been writing mantras for over several years for a container woman that I held space for and was coaching for years. And then my old dog died, Brady, and I was very grief sick and, I was sad, very sad. And I wanted to honor him in a way. And I thought about it. And every morning that I would write the mantra, he'd be right there by my side because I'd get up, feed him, and then come back into bed, do my meditation, write a mantra because I had to have it out by 6 a.m. every morning to my group of women. That's how I started their mornings. And he stayed witness to that for 4 years every morning because he knew as soon as I was done, we'd go for a walk, right? So I said, you know what? Because I had several of the women over the course of the year say, I would love a collection of those mantras. That's one of my favorite things from the program is that every morning we had one of your mantras. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put a collection of the best ones together and, to honor him. So that's how the project started, not knowing how much of putting a book together was. But it was great. It was wonderful because I had taken a break myself from a lot of the coaching work that I did outside of my one-on-one training. And the messages I got from doing this was that, he left me early because I wasn't done, bringing my gift to the world. And so the book was kind of like an opening window to do more and to give more and serve more. And so that's how it started is like before that, it was 4 years before that I did my last retreat and ran some, coaching programs for women online. So the world, the universe works that way, it helped me in this one of the saddest parts of this period of my life. But then flip side, it's bringing me a lot of joy, a lot of work, but a lot of joy. I didn't realize how much I missed, doing things, like really how much I missed, believe it or not, being outside of my comfort zone. Because a lot of things changed in 4, 5, 8 years ago, in the making content world, social media, branding, marketing, all that space. And so I jumped in, with both feet. And it's been a very busy time the last couple of years.
So what is the book called?
Morning Mantras That Will Change Your Life. So what it is a book of mantras, and then it explains the mantra, how you can use it, journal prompts. So it's almost like a workbook. It's not just, quotations of mantras in a book. It's actually when I started, I'm like, because when I wrote it every morning to the group, I wrote like a little lesson plan that went with every mantra. So I kind of organized the book in the same way, broke it down to how you can use it, what it means, how it fits into your life and stuff like that. So the concept was if you sat down, started your morning, the way you start your morning is how the rest of your day is going to go. And that's kind of the approach of the morning mantras, right?
Yeah,
so if you start your morning that way, your day is going to be that way.
So it is so true. The morning really does impact you. I mean, and then the day goes so fast. So if you have a bad morning, it zaps your energy, and then, it's you're halfway through
Yeah,
the day, and it's kind of hard to get back into that great,
right.
positive space again. So that's great. I'm glad you wrote
Yeah,
that.
because I always like I do my prayer mantra in the morning, and
Mhm.
then I always end it with, I can't wait to see what miracle is going to find me today. And then
Oh,
at the end of my day, I always said, or sometimes it's not even by the end of my day, I said, that was my miracle today.
I
Right?
really like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I always start my day saying, I wonder what miracle is going to happen today, what the world is going to bring me, right?
Yeah.
And then I always figure out what it is by the end of the day, if not before. Like I called it that's my miracle. Whether it was someone called me, this morning it was my alarm clock did not go off, but I woke up anyway. And I had a busy, busy day. And I'm like, oh, that was my miracle. I woke up before my alarm clock. It would have been a really bad day to miss my first appointment.
Yeah. Well,
But,
it's a nice way to wrap up the day. I'm going to look for that book, honestly, because I find that would be to even have that reminder. I'm a big person. I'm really big on visuals. I feel like that
mhm,
visuals can really help inspire you and bring positivity and reminders to those things that make you feel good. So I think like seeing your
right.
morning mantra book by the nightstand is a reminder in the morning
Mhm,
when you wake up to read that mantra and write anything down, and then in the
right.
evening come back to it, because again that reminder is there, and it puts you in that that mind frame, that mindset to be thinking of that
Right.
positive miracle, as you said. I think that's
Right. I think what's nice about the mantras is that they meet you wherever you are. I mean, sometimes quotes don't meet you, but a mantra usually can sit with you and meet you wherever you are
hmm
at the time that you read it.
hmm
And one of the things that I found powerful about it, in the way, kind of how I wrote it to where no matter what you're going through, this mantra is going to help you in one way or another.
And so you mentioned coaching. It sounds like you were doing some type of coaching years ago.
Well, I started out as a personal trainer. I still am. So I've been a personal trainer for 43 years. So I was one of the first female trainers in the United States before it was a thing, like 5 years before they even had a certification. And that was a pivot that came unexpectedly because I was a track athlete studying actually business.
Mhm.
And for my sport, my girlfriend and I wanted to lift heavier, get stronger. And we only had access to the Nautilus equipment and a couple of pink dumbbells. So we decided, well, we're going to open up a women's only gym. So she was an engineer, and we changed and we took classes in anatomy, physiology. I started training some first responders just for functional fitness to get stronger. And right before I graduated, our financial backers said, Reno, that's where I went to college, it won't support a small boutique gym because all the big gyms were coming in that space at that time, it was in the 80s. And so we're like, okay, what are we going to do? She pivoted and applied for chiropractic school. And I walked into Gold Gym in Reno, pretty much looking like I do today, petite, small, and said, hey, can I train here? And can I bring some of my friends to train here? And gym owner said, sure, sweetheart, I'll take your money and their money too. Because there was no such thing as a personal trainer or fitness trainer back then. They had bodybuilders in the gym and they had coaches for, competitions for that, but not a personal trainer slash functional or fitness trainer. So I kind of made my way because I was a brand new mom. I had to figure out how I was going to make money. I was a single mom. And I was like, okay, I already had a couple of people that I was working with. So I'm like, let me see if I can bring them with me and do what I wanted to do in somebody else's space. So I've been doing that. And I've always worked in like one-on-one spaces in people's homes. So I've never been an employee of a gym or anything like that. And so I've been very fortunate because I have some amazing clients. Some of them have been with me 20, 25 years. And I train their children now, not just them. And so it's been a very, because I could do my own hours, raise my children, do things like that. And it's evolved over the years. Like I say, I'm very curious. I want more, more, and more. Like became a licensed massage therapist, not ever to do a massage on the side, but I wanted to give, more understanding of the body and give those tools to my clients. And they loved it because at the end of every training session, I stretched them and massaged them, and they're like, I have the best trainer in the world because I get a massage, right?
Yeah.
And
Nice.
just things like that. And later in my life, I took life coaching, relationship coaching, spiritual training coaching, because I wanted more language, more tools again to understand and serve my clientele base. And over the years, I have done online coaching for a segment of population that I thought needed more attention. And that was women over 50. So my first business on that was called Diva Over 50 and Ageless by Kim. And I think I started that like 8 years ago. ago, before there was a lot of midlife coaches in that space for women. And so it was fun, because I was, again, making a pathway that wasn't really saturated yet, right? And so I've always been coaching in one way or another. I'm still coaching in one way or another. It's just, I think that's helped me is my natural curiosity to want more and to do more, right? And I found that no matter what I'm learning, I can apply it in my coaching business, right? In the relationship coaching, because when someone's with me for an hour, when you're coaching them, you're going to try to empower them as much as you can. And you're going to pull from resources that sometimes you don't even know you have, right? To help somebody, right? Or to make them reach their goals. I always thought of it as like I was analyzing them first, right? I was like looking at their values, looking at how they approach things, what motivates them before I ever gave them like a program, because I knew that if I understood them better first, then I would have more success on getting them to do what I wanted them to do. Right. Just kind of like you do with your kids, right? When you know your kids, you know what works with one and doesn't work for the other one because you understand them,
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
you're individual. I mean, you're looking at everybody as a unique person, and
person, right?
everybody's so different. And even though a couple people may, say that they are needing assistance in the same way or that they have the same goal, doesn't mean that they are in the same place or this, or how their approach may be completely different. I think that's the only way that the coaching works. And
Right.
I think that all your studies and all your certifications and all the different types of coaching can only help, in helping somebody that, one of your clients, because you're able to see all those different aspects of them and get a better picture, well-rounded picture of where they're at and how they need to get where they want to go.
Right. And every time you learn something new or whatever, there's different languages, different words, and it gives you a bigger toolbox to pull from, for me, I think. So, sometimes you're like, why are you doing that again? Like, why? I'm like, I don't know why. I want for me. And then it turns out that I'm using it more now. But, when I went to take my spiritual certification on being a counselor, they're like, well, how are you going to use that as a personal trainer? I'm like, I don't know, but I want to know more, because people ask me questions and I have questions. And it turns out that I use that a lot now in my, when I rebranded and came back, I'm like, what's missing is the science and the soul mixture.
Yeah.
And so that, I totally rebranded everything using that aspect of, what I added on years later. So,
yeah, I always think, life's about creating and learning. And I think that's so great that you want to keep learning new things, and you do, and you have so many certifications, and you're so qualified in so many different areas of coaching, and then being an author. And you were telling me earlier some new adventure that you are going to take on. I don't know if you wanted to share a little bit more about that.
you're talking about my new cohort, my new program.
Yeah.
Oh, or you mean my
Well,
form?
you have so many things
All
going
right.
on,
So
right?
many
You
things.
have a lot.
Well, I wanted to be more rooms, right? So because that's how, especially having taken off 4 years and coming back and creating something that I'm really passionate about right now. Part of the problem is no one knows that I'm doing anything anymore. And so you have to put yourself more out there. And so I've been, I joined a mastermind with Howard Lewis House and Brendan Burchard, and I met a whole bunch of people there. And then I applied for some international women's groups, things like that. Again, because I have a couple things. Besides, I just launched this last year a year course of coaching program for women over 50 again, and it's a little different than before. And then I also want to go into the corporate aspect with that. So that means I need to be in more rooms with high level women that are in that field, so I can understand what their pains are, how I can help them, and listen to that. So when I'm working one-on-one with people, I'm in one-on-one. It's a little bit different than being in a bigger room if I want to serve bigger rooms. So trying to figure out how to be in there. So I am doing more things. So I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but right now I'm really excited about, I'm learning AI. That's when when I came back.
Oh
It's
my
like, oh,
goodness, AI. Yeah.
it's a whole different world. I went to an AI conference in California and came back on fire. That's when I rebuilt my website and everything by myself. And
That just recently?
yeah, that
Okay.
was I just did that. Like I went to San Diego in February, March,
Uh-huh.
and it took me 4 weeks and I came back. And which was, I did it, like I said, I did it all by myself. And my oldest son owns 3 tech companies. And in the past, he's helped me with some of my tech stuff, but I didn't want, he's so busy. I'm like, I'm going to do this on my own. I got this. And I did it. And I sent him the link when it was done. And he's like, wow. He goes, you did this all by yourself? Who helped you? I said, no one helped me. He goes, you hooked up everything, all the shop. And I said, yeah. He goes, wow. He goes, you don't need me anymore. I said, yes, I do need you because you're helping me with my app. So I do have an app coming out in a couple
Nice.
days
Nice.
that I'm going to, so he is helping me with that. It's in the Apple Store waiting for approval. But I haven't really said anything about that until it's here. And so I've been doing a lot. I built 3 new online programs for my coaching. I still work many hours with my private clients because they're not going to let me go anywhere yet. And I have a couple of things that I want to roll out. But I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm still enjoying life. I really believe in just, you have to enjoy, you have to have that balance, which is hard to say balance. But I think you don't have to rush to anything, right? That's one of the things I learned from before when I was running big organizations like that I had, nonprofits. And you can take the time to have the happy hours with your girlfriends, spend the weekends with your kids, and do all these things and still be committed to your job and your work and your projects and your dreams. But you have to manage your nervous system. And that's one of the things that was probably one of the last things I really worked hard on myself. That, I always had the fitness part of it down, the food down, being in great shape. But managing my nervous system has been really something that I've focused on in the last decade. And I hold it, I keep it, like I don't know how you want to say this, but I protect it very well. Right. I have boundaries. And sometimes I'll find myself, I'm going to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning to finish a project. And I'll like, stop. No, I need my rest. I need my sleep. It can wait till tomorrow. So I'm going to be 64 in a couple weeks. And I think I'm going to live to be 100. So I have time to do a lot of things. That's how I look at it.
Kim, you look amazing. You are so beautiful on the inside and outside. And I mean, you're like ageless. And honestly, when I've commented on some of your posts saying you are inspiring me, I seriously mean it. At that moment, I was probably feeling like a lull of energy and trying to maybe put off my yoga maybe or something else that always makes me feel good. But sometimes you need a little bit of motivation. And when I see your post
Right.
and your pictures and you're so motivating with your, the wording that you use. I really do mean that. You are inspiring. I'm 51 and I can only hope to look like you, as vibrant as you look and sound and be, just so adventurous and be doing all these things so gracefully. You are an inspiration. So I really do mean that from my
Oh,
heart.
thank you. Thank you. I try, I think that's part of my mission is I want to show others that, it's possible, right? And it's not overwhelming. I hope I don't come across overwhelming, but it's
No.
possible and it's fun and you can be happy, but you have to do the work too, right? I mean, I'm always showing what I'm eating. I'm always showing what I'm doing, but I try to at the same time believe you can have it all, but you just have to know you have to do some work to figure out. And sometimes if you need a coach, or you need self-awareness, to recognize what's going on. And sometimes why I tell my story is maybe someone will recognize themselves in my story, right? And take a step to, whatever it is that they want, one step closer to that by hearing something that I post or say, And sometimes I just ramble on and think, I don't know why I said that, but maybe someone needed to hear it today. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, sometimes I think that I look at that post, I'm like, where'd that come from?
That's what you're feeling in the moment. And I mean, somebody
Right.
else somewhere, is experiencing that too. They'll come
Right.
across it at the right time.
Right.
You
Right.
do a great
That's true.
job. What is
Yeah.
something fun you do for yourself, like outside of, because I know you're always working out, eating
Uh-huh.
healthy. I know you posted recently you were kayaking. You went on, was that like a little vacation?
Yeah. No, that was my oldest son owns a home up in Sedona. Arizona. So for Mother's Day, I went up there for the weekend and just to hang out with him because when he's in the country, he's up there. The rest of the time, he's traveling all over the world. So I try when he's close by to hang out with him as much as I can. And fortunately, he loves hanging out with me too. So that's good. So we just went up there and it was a spur of the moment thing. He goes, "Hey, Mom, do you want to go kayaking?" I'm like, "Sure." So he looks on and he goes, "We have to leave right now." I'm like, "Okay." So do we get a pack for lunch? He goes, "I got it all figured out. We're just gonna stop by the Whole Foods on the way and grab something, and well, we got to be there in 20 minutes." I'm like, "All right." So we did it, and it was a fun day. I even got thrown in the water, and it was great. I wasn't planning. I didn't bring any clothes to go kayaking. I was like, I had some pants and t-shirt, and I'm like, "Okay, let's go."
That's awesome.
So, and we did a lot of hiking and things like that. But I like to say yes a lot. Even I haven't been kayaking probably for 25 years, I think, Colorado, but it's a totally different experience, but it was fun. I'm playing tennis. I'm trying to get better at tennis and golf. I love golf too. And then today I'm learning Mahjong. Card game.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, so with tiles, I think it's a Japanese game, right? It's really hard. It's like bridge on steroids, I think. So it's like the rage now. Like pickleball is a rage, mahjong's a rage.
Okay, I'm gonna
So
look
I said
that up.
I don't want to do pickleball because I don't want to injure myself, and I already have tennis, and I love tennis. So I said, "Well, I'll learn." So we signed up on Sunday for a one-on-one course through the Mahjong Club here in Scottsdale. And then my girlfriend, who started it a couple of weeks ago, she goes, "Okay, I'll host you guys and give you like a pregame give you some of the rules before you go for your lesson on Sunday." So I'm excited about that because I love playing card games and I love gatherings with other girls. So it's going to be another social event where actually we're doing something for our brain, we're thinking, we're learning a new skill, but at the same time, my girlfriend has a pink table and it's all going to be about pink, girly, and champagne, I'm sure, right? Like bongo, but with more thinking.
I can't believe there's a Mahjong club.
Yeah, and there's a Scottsdale chapter Mahjong. It's been around for 20 something years, but it's usually been more of not so popular because it's hard to learn. There's a lot of rules and you got to, learn them first. Like we're taking a 3-hour course on Sunday and to learn the basic rules. And so it's one of the reasons why a group of us got together so we can have more girls that can play, right? That know it. Because you can't just, not like a card game where you can just, oh, well, here's some of the rules and you can join in. You actually have to
pay attention.
Study some of, pay attention.
Yeah. It's
right.
not like go fish.
Right. Go fish. Or it's not like, like there's different levels, like before you can play. Like when you go golfing, you can suck and still play. On a Mahjong, you have to know the rules to play. Some of the girls are a little scared of it. So that's why we're all gathering together tonight first to pregame them, to give them some like heads up before the class on Sunday. But I think it's just important as you get older to still say yes to things. And especially when it involves, a community, whether it's your family, your friends, or a different, like a sport thing, like a tennis or whatever. Because I don't know, I just feel like it's those things that enrich my life, is my relationships. Right. And so I try to, expand that however I can without overwhelming myself. So
there are so many studies out there that state, socialization is so good for mental health, right? And overall health and well-being and continuous learning. That's always good. I feel like there's been this underlying message with everything that you've been talking about, and you do have a love for learning. And have you always had a love of learning new things? And
I've always been
loved the wellness?
I've always loved movement, right? Like, but and this can sound ridiculous, but I started running when I was in 7th grade, but I started running because the coach was really cute and I wanted to be around him. So the first day in track practice, he says, "Okay, everyone's going to run a mile." So what do? I come in first on the mile. He goes, "Okay, you're my long distance runner." And that's how I started my first athletic venture in like a sport. It's not because I wanted to learn how to run. It's because the coach was cute. So it's still belonging. It's still being part of something. I don't know what that tells you about me, but No, I do love being active. I love being out in nature, but I think what I learned like the most is learning something new. Like when I took golfing lessons, I took lessons for a year, and finally my coach says, "Kim, you're done. I'm kicking you out of the nest." I'm like, "Why? I'm paying you $100 an hour to learn to golf. What do you mean you're not going to coach me anymore?" She goes, "You need to just go play. I've taught
Out
you
there.
everything I know. You got to go live, go out in the real world and play golf." I'm like, "Oh, you've done this to me." I love us. You're teaching me every Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
But she was right.
Yeah.
Right. So I went out there and I joined a league and I met new people and I got better at golfing. I still need more practice, but I think that is part of my personality. I do really like the challenge of learning something new. And it's just for me. I'm not competitive with other people. I'm competitive with myself. So
So what keeps you
kind of
going? What keeps that internal drive or keeps that passion going for continuing to coach people?
because I honestly think that, well, first of all, I get instant gratification every time I'm with a client because when I leave, I truly feel that they're better when I
Mhm.
left. I truly give myself to that hour with that person, and I get that instant gratification when I leave because I just feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing here. So I
Yeah.
think we're all here to serve a purpose, and it's just like when you're a mother and sometimes when it's hard, when it's rough, at the end of the day, you're here to do that work
Yeah.
to raise good human. And I think I'm here to help people become better, so it gives me joy. It makes me happy because I do know my purpose, and it evolves, it changes, and how I approach it, how I deliver it, but at the end of the day, it's packaged differently, but the outcomes are always the same for me, whether it's hosting a retreat or a program or even my one-on-one clients. It's that because you think if you're changing them, they're changing somebody else, so it's that ripple effect. And I
Mhm.
think we're all here for the same reason, all the coaches. And I think if they really looked at their soul, they know the work they're doing is because they were brought here to do that work. It might take them longer to get there. Some have different paths to get to doing that soul work, but I think it's not by accident.
No.
Yeah, I truly believe that it's a divine thing for us. So
Yeah. You're leaving a positive impact, that's for sure.
all right.
And where can people find you? What do you have a website, social media site?
Everything's under, because I just rebranded. So it's thekimfisher.com. So it's my name with the in front of it because Kim Fisher was taken already. So you go to my website, but on Instagram, it's kimfisher.ageless. On social media, it's kimfisher.ageless because my other brand before was Ageless by Kim. So that's, it's all under Kim Fisher. So if you just plug that in anywhere, you should populate to find me somewhere along the line. Diva over 50, I just transferred everything under that umbrella over to the new one.
Mhm.
But there's still things out there under that brand, but mostly it's Kim Fisher or thekimfisher.com. So I have a lot of free resources on there. I do a blog every week that comes out, which I personally really take pride in because I research what the noise is out there in my niche and try to bring some value every Monday to their inbox. And so if anything, I'd love to have them come onto my website and subscribe to my newsletter because I have now AI do a lot of my automation stuff, but I still personally write my blog every week. So I'd love to see more
Oh,
people
oh, great.
read those.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you. Thank you, Kim, for sharing what you do here at the listening room. I appreciate you taking your time to be here with us. And until next time, keep listening and keep growing. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.